Ilad Adonai Daber Pivi, Varecha Basar Shem Kocholi Olam Vaed.
אנחנו נברך ים, יתבד עולם, הללויה.
אנחנו נברך ים, מעתה ועד עולם, הללויה, ובא לציון.
Page 560, the bottom paragraph.
ויבטחו בך ידי שמך, כי לא עזבת דורשך אדוני, אדוני חפץ למען צאתו, יגדיל תורה ויאדיר.
We rise 564, חצי קדיש.
יקדש יקדש מרבה, יעמד דברה חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכוני ומכוני, וחיי כל בית ישראל. Bagala bizman kari bimaru amen.
יהי שמירה במבורך לעולם המאה.
Yitbarak yishtabak yitbar yitramam yitnase yitadar yitaled yitalal shemeda kudisha brichu. Elamin kol birchata b'shirata tishbachata v'nechamata damiram b'yamaha yimaru. Amen.
Seder Hotza'at HaTorah, page 566.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Udvar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah, Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Gadlu l'Adonai iti unerem shemahu yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod kichol b'shamayim u'v'haaretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlecha v'hatmitnaseh l'chol l'rosh. Ramimu, Ramimu. Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahadam raglav kadoshu. Ramimu, Ramimu. Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahar kodsho.
Ikadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Maybe
Yatem habekim baranai Elohechem chayim tochem hayom.
And the bracha for La'asok b'divrei Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen. What page, Jeffrey, on this Eitz Chaim Brakasha?
So I don't know whether, I don't have the books in front of me, but I believe it's around 930 or 928 in Eitz Chaim that we're reading from.
9:18, Marvin said.
518, thank you.
9:18.
Very good.
918.
Is this Parshat Pinchas?
Yes.
Is anybody else scheduled to read that?
If you have your set and you'd like to read, but by all means. You have a preference for a particular
Okay,
aliyah?
I have the Chumash in 1 minute.
Okay, it's wonderful. So as Anne said, it's Parshat Pinchas. We left Parshat Balak with a cliffhanger, as they say. a very powerful event in the Jewish nation's history. Pinchas takes the law into his hands, literally, and executes two individuals. At that point, God communicates with Moshe regarding the matter of taking the law into your hands, and we will read that. And do you have a preference for an aliyah, or they're all the same to you?
All the same. For this Torah reading on Motzei Shabbat, is it divided the same way it would be on a regular Shabbat? I mean, on Shabbat morning. All right. Well, the reading I learned from Harriet, who was my wonderful teacher many years ago. I know the first one.
Okay, excellent. So we will read the first one. It's page, I don't know the page, but chapter 25, verse 16, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Verse 10.
25:10.
25:10. Thank you, Ruthann. And we begin. Anne, would you recite for us the bracha for reading the Torah? Asok b'divrei Torah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher
Shana b'mitzvotav.
tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen. Amen. Okay, Anne, would you please read for us the first aliyah?
The first aliyah goes up to what number? What?
Including 12. It's 10, 11, and 12.
Okay. Okay. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aharon hakohen, Heshiv et chamati me'al b'nei Yisrael, v'kano et kinati b'tocham, v'lo chiyiti et b'nei Yisrael b'kinati, v'achen emor hineni noten lo, et briti shalom.
Beautiful, Anne. And let's find from Jeffrey what the text says to us in English.
The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Pinchas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the priest, has turned back my wrath from the Israelites by displaying among them his passion for me, so that I did not wipe out the Israelite people in my passion. Say, therefore, I grant him my pact of friendship.
You read friendship, the Hebrew is shalom, which we generally understand as peace. So it's interesting, as many times as I've heard the debate, is Pinchas a radical extremist that should be sort of drummed out of the community, or is he a patriot who did the right thing at the right time? I'm sure we won't resolve the question, but our text seems to feel that what Pinchas does by taking the law into his hands is the right thing, and sort of an extraordinary thing happens. He and his lineage become now the high priests for the action that Pinchas takes. Very dramatic, of course. Anne, tell us, please, who do you have your side for today?
For my mother, it was, well, it's not starting. This is the end of.
That's okay, we get it. And tell us a little about Mom, please.
She was a wonderful, loving mother, and I'll just give one little teeny vignette because I don't want to take up too much time. But when our oldest son was born, David, my mother's first grandson, we were living in Manhattan. She lived on Long Island, and she decided that once a week she was going to take the train to New York and spend the whole day with us, so that she would know this wonderful addition to our family. And it wasn't such an easy trip. She took the Long Island Railroad, then she had to take the subway, then she had to walk a few blocks, and she loved every minute of it. And then when we moved to Baltimore, she would come down, not every week, but she came down for many chagim, and it was always a joy to see how much she loved being a grandmother. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So many questions. I know your family has really a very dramatic history. And
on the other side of the family.
Yeah. Even
Another time.
what is Mom's Hebrew name, please?
Hinda, but Fredo the Shmuel.
Hinda bat Shmuel Fredo. El Rachamim Shochein Bamromin Hamtzei Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei Hashchina במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הקיע מזהירים את נשמת הנדה בת שמו ופרדו שלחה לעולמה בגן עדן תהי מנוחתה אנא ברחמים אסתיריה בסתר כנפיך לעולמים וצור החיים את נשמתה אדוני הוא נחלתה תנוח בשלום על משכבה ונאמר אמן. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you, Moshe. Thank you very much.
And let's see. Harriet has a yahrzeit, and Irv, you have a yahrzeit tonight, and who else for tonight or tomorrow?
Lauren, didn't you say you have one?
Okay. Let me see. Sandy, are you here? Not here yet. Okay. Lauren, are you up for reading, or you'd rather not do a reading? Not tonight, okay? And Harriet, you're rather, okay, not reading, okay?
I actually don't have a Chumash in front of me.
Okay. So Aliza, I'm going to pick on you for reading. We are reading the second Aliyah. God extends his peace offering as payment in kind. Chapter 25, verse 13. Jeffrey, what page, please?
It's page 919.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. בבקשה, עליזה.
ויטע לו ולזרעו אחריו ברית כהונת עולם תחת אשר קינא לאלוהיו ויכפר על בני ישראל בשם איש ישראל המוכה אשר הוכה את המדיינית זמרי בן סלו נסיבותיו לשמעוני בשם האישה המוכה המדיינית כסבי וצור ראש אומות בית אב במדיין הוא.
תודה רבה, עליזה. That was lovely. Jeffrey, English, please.
It shall be for him and his descendants after him a pact of priesthood for all time, because he took impassioned action for God, thus making expiation for the Israelites. The name of the Israelite who was killed, the one who was killed with the Midianite woman, was Zimri, son of Salu, chief of a Simeonite ancestral house. The name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi, daughter of Zur. He was the tribal head of the ancestral house in Midian.
Thank you. So what's interesting here is that we are calling by name both the Israelite, the chief of the tribe of Shimon, and the woman he was with, the Midianite woman, is also of nobility, the daughter of the head of the Midianite clans. And it's interesting to me that such a painful and unpleasant event is explicitly mentioned and listed in the Torah. And to my mind, it is further proof of the seriousness and commitment to truth, however unpleasant it may be, to put together into our history so that we learn of these things. Harriet, tell us again who you have your site for today, please.
From my mother.
Would you tell us a little something about Mom, please?
Well, I think it's significant that it's 40 years since
Wow.
she died. It's really amazing. She was 63.
Wow.
And she was a wonderful mother. We had a lot of laughs together over the years, and she would come and visit us wherever we were living. And she was a wonderful Grammy. She was also very active in the Jewish community and their synagogue in Hadassah and Federation, whatever it was. She was very involved and respected, known for her pies, among other things. She was a great cook and great baker and great hostess. And I still miss her after 40 years.
Well, you do, but she's very much here. I have a feeling that if we met Mom, we'd find out that she is pretty much like you are, that there's many elements of wonderful common practices and perspectives. And please tell us Mom's Hebrew name.
Shoshana bat Shimon Bat Yaleah.
Shoshana bat Shimon bat Yaleah. Hamale rachamim shochin b'mromin. נמצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה במעלות קדושים וטהרים כזוהר כי המזהירים את נשמת שושנה בת שמעון בת יaleah שהלכה לעולמה בגן עדן תהי מנוחתה. אנא ברחמים הסתיריה בסתר כנפיך לעולמי מוצאו לצרוע חיים את נשמתה. אדוני הוא נחלתה ותנוע בשלום המשכבה ונאמר Amen.
Thank you, Moshe.
Harriet.
Thank you.
And we'll ask Ruth Ann to do the last and final reading for this afternoon. We are in chapter 25 still, verse 16 through 4. 26.
וידבר אדוני משה לאמור, צרור את המדיינים והכיתם אותם, כי צוררים הם לכם בנכליהם, אשר נכלו לכם על דבר פאור, ועל דבר כוסבי, בת נשיא מדיין אחותם, המוכה ביום המגפה על דבר פאור. ויהי אחרי המגפה, ויאמר אדוני אל משה ואל אלעזר בן אהרון הכהן לאמור, שאו את ראש כל עדת בני ישראל מבין 20 שנה ומעלה לבית אבותם, כל יוצאי צבא בישראל. וידבר משה ואלעזר הכהן אותם בערבות מואב על ירדן יריחו לאמור, מבין 20 שנה ומעלה, כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה בני ישראל היוצאים מארץ מצרים.
Thank you, Ruth Ann. Jeffrey, English, please.
The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Assail the Midianites and defeat them, for they assailed you by the trickery they practiced against you. Because of the affair of Peor, and because of the affair of their kinswoman Cosbi, daughter of the Midianite chieftain, who was killed at the time of the plague on account of Peor. When the plague was over, the Lord said to Moses and to Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest, take a census of the whole Israelite community from the age of 20 years up by their ancestral houses, all Israelites able to bear arms. So Moses and Eleazar the priests on the steppes of Moab near at the Jordan near Jericho gave instructions about them, namely, those from 20 years up, as the Lord has commanded Moses. The descendants of the Israelites who came out of the land of Egypt were to be continued.
To be continued, indeed. So two things come out to us. Number one, the calculation that what has just happened from the Midianites and the Moabites was an intention to hurt and, God forbid, destroy the Jewish people. And the response has to be in according measure, that this is not simply to be ignored and walked away from. And the other thing that's very telling, you would think that the high priesthood is a product of biological lineage, that you can only be a priest if your father was a priest. You can only be a Kohen Gadol, a high priest, if your father was a high priest. And here we see the actual transition, the moving away, though at this point we have the high priesthood in this clan. As a result of political events, we move it to another place. We see that also in Hanukkah, where the Hasmonean dynasty lineage takes the high priesthood with approval of the Sanhedrin, that in gratitude for the Hasmonean family's great sacrifices to the Jewish people, they were given the high priesthood. Okay, we have some Yortzeiten. Debbie, you have Yortzeit tonight, is that right? Did you tell us who you have Yortzeit for?
My father's father.
Okay, did you know him at all?
No, I did not. I go to the cemetery because my parents are in the same cemetery, and he passed away in 1943. His name was Frank Weinberg, but unfortunately, I don't know his Hebrew name.
Is there a Hebrew name on the stone? Do you think?
No, there isn't.
Ah.
I'm going to try to contact some other cousins and see if they know his name.
Yeah, I imagine it would probably be Ephraim. Ephraim and Frank is usually,
Okay.
So we'll make a very brief consecration
Thank you.
of his memory. Indeed.
Thank you.
שוכן במרומים, צא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר כי המזהירים את נשמת אפרים בן ישראל שהלך לעולמו, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתו. אנו ברחמים, הסתירה בסתר כנפיך לעולמי מוצאו, בצרור החיים את נשמתו, אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום על משכבו ונאמר amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Irv, you have your site tonight, tomorrow? You need to unmute yourself first. Yes, there you go.
I'm not going to do it. I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay. All right, thank you. Somebody else who still has your site tonight? We are done with all the your site. Very good. And thus we continue. We're reading Torah tomorrow. It is a minor fast day, so we'll get a chance to read by the Torah.
Yeah, but he won't have a chance tomorrow because it's only on live stream.
Well, if you can text me, or if you want to give me the name, Irv, you have your site for.
Or Irv is welcome to join us in person tomorrow as well. We'll be in the Krieger.
Yeah. If you want, Irv, it'll take a minute, that's all. If you unmute yourself, please. Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. My father's name was Reuben.
And his father?
His father was William.
Ze'ev.
No.
Reuben ben Ze'ev. And it's a Kohen? You're a Kohen, Irv?
Cohen.
Yeah.
You want me to spend 1 minute with my father so I can?
Please, yes.
Okay.
1 minute.
I hear all these beautiful stories and I want to try to add mine.
We thank you.
Really two aspects of my father. One was his professional. He was a lawyer. He served 16 years in the Baltimore City Council. He was the president of the Hebrew Free Loan Association. He was the chairman of the board of Near Tommen. So he had all those things, but those were his professional things. But when I think back of my father and how my relation to him is, that he came from a very poor background. He could have told me, you've got to work for everything like I did, but he never did that to me. He was always a loving father to me and very supportive of what I did. So that's why I'm here tonight.
Thank you. That truly is an inspiring and wonderful story. And I will share with you, Irv, that our tradition says that true nobility is a nobility in spirit. That if you're noble in your spirit, then it matters not when you come from a poor material family or other difficulty. If your expression of life in life is majestic and generous, then you are indeed noble. And thank you for the story, Irv.
You're welcome.
Next year, a little more. And so we consecrate Dad's memory. שוכן במרומים, המציא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזועקי המזהירים, את נשמת ראובן בן זאב הכהן, שהלך לעולמו, בגן עדן תהי מנוחתו. אנו ברחמים הסתירהו בסתר כנפיך לעולמי הימוצו, בצרור החיים את נשמתו, אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוע בשלום המשכבו ונאמר אמן. And Irv, I will tell you that I owe you and Dad a debt. When I finished college for my bachelor's at the University of Delaware, I needed about $150 for library fees that were extra, that they would not give me the piece of paper until I paid it, and I didn't have any money, and I came to the society and they gave me the money, and I paid off my fines and bought a suit and marched to work as a teacher at the city of Baltimore school system at Pimlico Junior High. So I thank you and Dad for that kindness. Is there anyone else that we need to recite? Okay. With this, Sandy, do you mind picking up at, we're on page 570, I believe. כי לקח טוב נתתי לכם, rise if you can.
570.
Or Eitz Chaim, whichever is convenient.
כי לקח טוב נתתי לכם, תורתי אל תעזבו, עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה, ותומכי המאושר. דרכיה דרכי נועם, וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה, חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
חצי קדיש 572.
Oh, I said something, but so
They said something.
I did.
What did you say?
I'll go over it.
Yitkadav Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yama divrachirute v'yamlich malchute. V'chayechon uv'yamechon uv'chayedecho bet Yisrael. V'gala uv'izman kariv v'yimeru.
Amen. Yeshmei Abba Mevorach. Le'olam le'olam le'omaya Yibarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kodesh barilchu le'ela min kol brachata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran b'yoma v'imru amen.
We recite the Amidah silently, beginning on 574 in the inside back cover and returning to 574 through the Amidah. Amidah inside. Please continue at your own pace. Sandy is going to begin the Chazara on the inside back cover, and we join her at the Kedusha. Sandy, please.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanara El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol Zocher Chasdei Avod Umevi Goel Livnei V'Nehem Leman Shemo B'Ahava Melchazer Fakeda Moshe Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Faked Sarah
Amen.
Atah Gibor Elam Adonai Machayim Eitim Atarav Lehoshia Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed Machayim Eitim B'Rachamim Rabim Samech Naflim V'Rofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umkayim Emunato L'Shenei Afar Milchamocha Ba'al Gevurot U'Midam Melach Melch Meimid U'Mchayim Atzmiach Yeshua V'Ne'eman Atah L'Chayot Meitim Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye hametim.
Amen. Kedusha 576. Kadesh et Shemcha ba'olam, Keshem shemagdishim oto b'shmei marom, hakatuv al neviyecha v'kaz el tzeh ve'amar.
Nekadesh et Shemcha ba'olam, Keshem shemagdishim oto b'shmei marom, hakatuv al neviyecha v'kaz el tzeh ve'amar.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech haaretz kevodo le'umatam baruch yameru.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech haaretz kevodo, le'umatam baruch yameru.
Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo, v'divei kadshecha katuv le'imo.
Baruch kavod Adonai mimkamo, direi kadshecha katuv lemor.
Yimloch Adonai le'olam, v'lahayach Tzion ledor vador, hallelujah.
Yimloch Adonai le'olam, el hayotzion l'dor vador, hallelujah.
Ledor vador.
L'dor vador, nagid gadlecho, netzach netzachim, kedushatcha nakdish, v'shivchacha, heinu mipinu le'imish le'olam va'ed, Yamech gadol v'kadosh ata, baruch ata Adonai. El HaKadosh.
May be seated. Sandy continues, page 578.
Ata echad v'shimcha echad, umi ka'amcha Yisrael, umi ka'amcha Yisrael, goy echad ba'aretz, tiferet gedula, ba'teret Yeshua, Yom Menucha Ukdusha le'amcha natata, Avraham Yagel, Yitzchak Yiranein, Yaakov uvanav yanuchuvo, Menuchat ahava undava, Menuchat emet ve'emunah, Menuchat shalom v'shalva, v'hashked v'avetach, Menucha shlema shatarot ba, Yakiru vanecha v'yedu kimei itcha, Hi menuchatam, v'al menuchatam, yakdishu et shemecha. Eloheinu v'Eloi Avotenu, Resevim Nuchatenu, Kachenu b'mitzvotecha, v'techakenu b'toratecha, Sabenu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'shuatecha, v'taher libeinu li'avdecha be'emet, v'anchilenu Adonai Eloheinu, ba'avav ratzon Shabbat kachecha, v'yanuchu Yisrael mekadshei shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael v'tfilatam, v'shevet ha'avodah lidvir beitecha, v'tfilatam ba'avot kabel b'ratzon, v'tila ratzon tamid avodah Yisrael amecha, v'techazen eineinu b'shuvcha l'tzion b'rachamim, Baruch atah Adonai, המחזיר שכינתו לציון, מודים אנחנו לך.
Page 580.
צור חיינו, מגן ישנו תהי לדור ודור, נודה לך, ספר תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסחה שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלאותך וטובתך, שבכל עת ערב ובוקר וצהריים. הטוב כי לך לרחמך, ורחם כי לא תמיד חסדך מעולם קיווינו לך. ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם שמך מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד, וכל החיים יודוך סלע, יעלו את שמך באמת, היו ישועתנו בעזרתנו סלע, ברוך אתה אדוני, שמך חונה להודות.
Amen.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, ועל כל יושבי תבל תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדם לכל השלום, וטוב בעיניך לברך בעמך ישראל, וכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני. וברך את עמי ישראל בשלום.
Amen. 596, חצי קדיש.
Yikara v'yikara shemei rabba.
Amen.
Yama divrachi r'tei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayachon v'yamechon v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael. Hagalav isman kari v'imeru.
Amen.
Amen. Yehi shmei rabba. Mevorach. V'yam lo me'omaya. Yirach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudesha. Richu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata. Tishbachata v'nechamata. Damiram b'yama v'imeru.
Amen.
Tikabel tzlodon avod handachol Yisrael. Kadama v'hondi v'shmaya v'imeru.
Amen.
Yehi shlema rabba min shemaya. B'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen.
Rise 598.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol. Lateit gedula liotzer breshit. Shelo asanu kagoye aratzot. Velo samanu. Kamishpachot adama. Shelo samchalkenu kahem. Vigoralenu kucho hamonam. Vanachnu korim. Umishachavim umodim. Lifnei melech. Malchei Amlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Shonet Hashemayim v'Yosim. Okay, nekabel chorna leinu meirod yipesh ezecha. Kakatuv b'toratecha Adonayim lochli olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shmo echad. Wonder Scottish?
Not yet. Are you finished with Aleinu?
Yes.
No? Okay. We recall with love those who gave us life and shared life with us, whose yortzeit is today, Shabbat, the 16th of Tammuz, June 26, 2021. The following names are listed in our perpetual memorials at Chizuk Amuno, and they are inscribed in our hearts and our souls. Helene Klein, Helen Kramer, Rosa Lazarus, Ray Priceman, and Jeffrey, who else? That's it. Yortzeit and Mourner's Kaddish, page 600. Id Gadal Vid Kadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad Yivrach Yirutei ve'amlich Machutei. V'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalav v'zman kari ve'imo amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'le'olmei olmaya. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה ברכו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה לאמירם בעלמה ועמו אמן. שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן. Say shalom imamav, yaseh shalom, leinu v'akol Yisrael v'emu. Amen. Harriet, your yortzeit is tonight and tomorrow, or it was last night or today? Okay. And Alan Sanker, Shabbat shalom to you, my friend. You're saying Kaddish for
my mother.
You have yortzeit or she?
Yortzeit.
Yortzeit. That's tonight and tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for that. And anybody else who has yortzeit? Anne, are you up for davening Ma'ariv, or you'd rather? No. Okay, we'll leave that alone. Just a quick reminder: tonight, which matters not, but tomorrow, is a minor fast day in the Jewish calendar, the 17th of Tammuz. And the wonderful thing is, who, if you will, we don't celebrate a minor fast day, but the fact that it's inscribed in our calendar, an event that took place over 2,000 years ago, and is not just a historical memory, but is a memory inscribed in actions, whether you eat or not, and how you act and behave, ties us to history that very much transcends death and time and generation, and ties us truly in the bond of life with the events of history, which become in that sense religious, if you will, but certainly of a heightened and more powerful and personal event that makes us more sensitive to history, number one, and to its coming around as we observe our own experience in history. And I'm willing to bet, after Shabbat, I'll place my bet, that in time, the events of January 6th will be remembered as a matter of course to all Americans. And just a very interesting note that it is a law in the United States that the Congress enshrined by law, by decree, that every year there must be Yom HaShoah, Remembrance Day. At every army post, at every diplomatic post in the world and in the United States, there must be ritual acts of remembrance and educational acts of learning about the Holocaust, which raises it much more than simply a date or a fact in history. I thought, Sandy, you're going to say something?
No, I was just curious,
Yes.
in the United States, do we observe International Holocaust Day? I mean,
Both, actually.
The Jewish Holocaust Day is a floating calendar. I wondered how it could be.
Correct, but it is tied in, even though it's not always on the same day, it is connected to in other words, without the Jewish Holocaust Day, there would be no United States remembrance, Day of Remembrance. And the very museum in Washington is given on federal land. And even though we, the Jewish community and others, support it and pay its many, many expenses, it is nonetheless the United States Memorial, Holocaust Memorial Museum. And with that, we continue with an Arvit service. And Harriet, would you mind leading us in the Arvit, or you'd rather not? You're muted, so we can't hear you.
I would not mind. Thank you. I'll do it.
You don't mind. All right, so we turn to page 200, and Harriet would be kind to lead us. I always love hearing Harriet lead us in services. You do such a beautiful job. Page 200, revise. V'hu rachum.
Vehu rachum yichaper avon v'lo yashpit, v'hir bala hashiva po lo ya'ir kol hamato. Adonai Hoshea HaMelech Yanenu V'yom Por'enu Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
May be seated. On page 200 and
El Chai V'Kayam Tamidim Lo Koleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Ha'ari V'Arabim.
Amen.
V'ahavata tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch Atah Adonai
Shema.
Shemamo Yisrael.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levavecha v'kol nafshecha u'b'chol modecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shoftecha v'kumecha u'kshartan leot ha'yadecha v'hayu letotafot ben einecha u'chetavtam ha'mezuzot beitecha u'v'she'arecha.
It's 202 at the bottom paragraph.
Pardon me?
No, you're good. Go ahead. I'm just announcing the page.
למען ירבו ימיכם וימי בניכם על האדמה אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותיכם לתת להם כימי השמיים על הארץ. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר על בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורתם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלה, והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Page 204 in the middle of the page.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם, משה ובני ישראל הכנו שירה, בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה, זה אלי ואנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, קהל ישראל.
Amen. Page 206 at the top.
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, שומר עמו ישראל לעד.
Amen.
אדוני לעולם
Page
אמן.
206 in the middle.
Ki hamalchut shel hi ula omer timlok b'chavod. Ki ein lanu melech ela ata baruch ata Adonai.
Or Shemo.
Melech b'kvadot hamidin lo koleinu le'olam va'ed ve'al kol ma'asav.
Amen. We rise.
Yavi kadash merabah. Yamad divrachi rutei v'yamlik malchutei. V'chaye chonu v'yamechonu v'chaye dachol bet Yisrael. B'agala v'zman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehishmerah v'meharach. Yolam v'yamaya. Yetbarak v'yishtabach v'pa'arit v'mavit naseh. Yetadar v'yetalev yetala. Shemeda kudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiran v'yama v'himeru.
Amen.
Amen.
We begin the Amidah, the Arvit Amidah on page 210. Please remember on page 212, the top of the page, indented, we recite Atachon Antanu for Motzei Shabbat, top of 212. Please continue at your own pace. Kaddish Shalem, Harriet, if you please.
Yikadavi kadash merabah.
Amen.
V'yamati v'achirutei v'yamlik malchutei v'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei dachol bet Yisrael. Ba'agala bisman kari v'meru.
Amen.
Amen. Yeheshmira
Amen.
v'mara. Ya'alam me'amaya. Yet barak v'ishtabak v'pa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala shemedu kudasha. Ve'elam min kol berkata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiram b'yama v'imeru.
Amen.
Flow to home, the Holy Israel, Hodam Bavahon Divishmaya Ve'imeru.
Amen.
Yehesh Lamarava Mishmaya, Vechaim Aleinu V'Al Israel Ve'imeru. Amen.
Amen.
Shalom Bimramad, Luya Shalom, Aleinu V'Al Israel Ve'imeru. Amen.
We
If
turn
you're
to
able.
Havdalah. Bruce, we're good with time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
700.
Page 700 for the Havdalah. And again, I just love repeating Maimonides' Rambam's words that Havdalah is Kiddush. And so it's just an added value for us. And we use a light to indicate that it is another order of events. Neither. Candle that does not go out, and we light several wicks together. We raise a cup of wine and we make the bracha. Savri ma'anav gotai baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil בין קודש לחול, בין אור לחושך, בין ישראל לעמים, בין יום השביעי לששת ימי המעשה. ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול. המבדיל בין קודש לקודש לחול. נערינו וכספנו ירבה כחול, וכוכבים בלילה. שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, הגות תבוא, הגות תבוא, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב. אליהו הנביא, אליהו התשבי, אליהו, אליהו. אליהו הגלעדי בימינו יבוא אלינו עם משיח בן דוד, עם משיח בן דוד. אליהו הנביא, אליהו התשבי, אליהו, אליהו הגלעדי. עלינו.
Aleinu l'shabeach Adon HaKol, v'atei kedula liyotzeh b'reshit, shelo asanu kedoyei haratzot, velo samanu shebekot ha'adama, shelo samakelkeinu kahem, velo
עלינו
shebekot hamonam,
אנחנו קוראים
ומשתחווים ומודים
לפני מלך הקדוש ברוך הוא.
כי המלכות שלך היא ועומד תמוך בכבוד, וכתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל
Oretz.
היום ההוא, היום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
We recall with love those who gave us life and shared life with us, whose yortzeit is today, 17th of Tammuz, Sunday, June 27th, 2021. The following names are listed in our perpetual memorials of Chizuk Amuno Congregation, and they are inscribed in our hearts and our souls. Reuben Kaplan, Sarah Du Bois, Myrtle A. Novi, Ida Sapp, Tsipora Shogel, Helen Guns Senker, Dr. Leon M. Schulman, and Jeffrey. That's it. Yortzeit and Mourners Kaddish, page 226. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlif machutei, b'chayachon v'yamechon v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalav v'zman kariv ve'emo amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'l'olmei almaya. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירם בעלמה ועמו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועמו אמן. Say shalom imomar, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imo amen. Shavua tov, zichram baruch. Memory is a blessing. Tomorrow morning, a fast of Shiva Sabbath Tammuz, we will meet in the sanctuary for Shacharit. There will be a Torah reading. And of course, neither Musaf nor Hallel. And yet we commemorate with Torah reading and special tefillot.
And we'll actually be across the hall in the Krieger, but head towards the general direction of the sanctuary, and that'll get you in the right direction.
If it's not the chapel, it's
in the Krieger.
Sanctuary. Right. Thank you, Jeffrey. And again, for the many, many kindnesses that you do for us all. Please be safe, be careful, and thank you all who participated. It's such really a thrill and a pleasure. And it is a great honor to carry and remember the living memory of those who inspire us to this very moment and day. Shavua Tov, a good Geben Shvoch, and please God watch over us and over this great nation.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Shavua Tov, Moshe.
Shavua Tov,
Everybody.
Shavua Tov lekulchem.
Shavua Tov.
Thank you all. And Jeffrey. Erica, do you have a Sim Shalom Sidur yet or not?
No.
Okay, I'll see. All right, I'll try and get you that's a wonderful Sidur. I'll get one to you one way or the other. Please have a good, sweet, healthy, and safe Voch, Shavua Tov, good Voch. And again, thank you, Jeffrey, especially for your kindnesses.
Hey, Moshe.
Yes.
Which